It's time for the most sold SUV worldwide, the Honda CR-V in the facelift variant, which has been brought out recently. This very generation has been starting since 2012, now the facelift. Today on Autogefühl, your #1 resource for in-depth car reviews and your #1 community to discuss cars with Thomas. We're going to take a look at the exterior, interior and the driving experience. Some things have changed actually now with the facelift. Exterior slightly altered, interior new infotainment system and new diesel beneath the hood, also with the automatic gearbox. Exactly that we're going to test out right now. We get the new Honda face here in the front. It's a smiling face, smile everyone, and has been also cleaned up a little bit. So a friendly face in the front. You see also the headlights, they're getting out a little bit, kind of 3D effect. It's not really a clean design because we have some angles here and then again another line. I would have preferred it a little bit simpler. However, I like the sporty bumper in the lower part in the contrast color to our dark red one. In the side profile we can see 18-inch rims, and they're also in the two-color scheme, quite beautiful and make this car a little bit more dynamic. They start with a lifestyle trim level, the second top trim level, not the very top one. This one we have here, we have the executive trim level, but I wouldn't go for it. I'll also tell you later why. Check out the interior part for that one. About the side profile in general, the car is 4 meters 52 in length, so still a compact SUV class. Not too long though, but we'll have a lot of space on the interior. I can show you very soon. That is very good in this case, also one of the main arguments for this car. And then the rear, well, it has this coupe style ending. That is actually kind of beautiful, I think. But what I don't like is that we got this very bulky round rear. That's not my personal taste, but what about you? The friendly chrome fin from the front is repeated here in the rear now with the facelift, but the basic shape remained the same, of course. And as I said, not really my type, this round bulky style, but maybe it's rather yours. Then was also remarkable those taillights here. They remind me a little bit of those shaped ones of the Volvo XC60. Let's see what's beneath the hood, and that's the crucial part of this facelift here, definitely. So let's fix it right here. Well, I think it's quite nice that they have painted it in a red color here that fits to the exterior color of the car. This is a new 1.6 liter diesel, either in 120 or 160 horsepower. We are driving the strong one, the 160 horsepower variant. You can have them with 6-speed manual or also optional 1,800 euros in Germany with a new 9-speed automatic gearbox, and we also have that one. That's the best combination, and I can really recommend you that one. And there's also a petrol engine available with 155 horsepower. That would also be possible, but this one here is the new combination, also with a 9-speed automatic gearbox, which I can, yeah, I would really go for that one. But of course it's also the most expensive one. So this very car, taking Germany as an example, it starts at 24,000 euro. That's a very good price for a compact SUV, one of the lowest prices, compared to those one of the Mazda CX-5, which would be one of the best competitors, I think. But then again, if you pick the highest trim level and also this engine with the automatic gearbox, 44,000 euros, and I think it's a little bit too expensive. For example, the CX-5 has a better deal there when you pick highest trim level and the big petrol engine, a new one, for example. So, but you can get the price lower. Also tell you later on the interview if you don't pick the highest trim level, and then also have another advantage for that one. And so more about that now in the interior review. That's the key here. Nothing special, but actually quite solid. That's everything of the car. Let's get inside here. The doors feel rather slim, so, but you know, the sound I think is quite okay when the door is closing. By the way, interesting feature is that we got the electric seats here, and when I have them at the front as I would be driving, and when I then close the door again, then you see there's this, close, open the car again, and then there's this comfort function, because when I open the door, you see, the seat is going backwards, so that I have an easy entry. That's more like a luxury car feature. The only thing that is missing, that when I put on the ignition then, the seat is not going in the front, so I have to do that manually again now. That I think is a little bit missing. Also here for the backrest, that is also electronically. And then you also got the lumbar support, you can see it right here. Goes back in, then comes out with the lumbar support. Yeah, first overview of the cockpit. Everything is kind of simple. Just some nice elements, for example here with the brushed aluminum. I really like that matte style. Then I think they could have reduced a little bit, so because we have some different forms, the round and half round and cross-checkered, I'm not sure. Would be a little bit cleaner than if they just decide for one form. But in general, the cockpit is quite functional, definitely, and they also updated this with the facelift. More to that in the middle console very soon, because that is where the most changes have happened. They are also using new materials, however these ones are the optional leather seat now in the executive top trim level. Don't go for them because they are also not in the best quality in my opinion. Look at that one, will very soon look like your grandma sofa, like we've for example also seen in Django XF. But it's no problem because the lifestyle, the second top trim level, so one below, is a little bit cheaper and then offers Alcantara on the inside and faux leather like here also on the outer. That's the best function. And then below that, the lower trim levels have full cloth seats. Let's take a look at the instruments, start the ignition and see what we have here. Oh, a little bit of overload, but most of those usually don't glow. So in the middle, the speed, left RPMs, and the gears are also shown there, and where you see P right now. Here to reset the day kilometers, and right the fuel, so pretty standard one. In the middle, a kind of old school digital screen. Then at the steering wheel for the music volume, and on the right side, this is for the new IACC, the new adaptive cruise control. Works pretty good. And I can also show you later on driving what I mean when you know how it works when I try to reduce the speed here or set it high here. As some not really good function with it. I'll explain that one later. But in general, the system and how the distance is kept, that one works very well. That's my driver point of view. And then the middle part, start-stop button is here. I'll turn on the ignition again. You can see how the screen, it's nice that the logo appears first. This 7-inch screen has been renewed with the facelift now. So before that we had a smaller screen and that was really horrible, the system, and the GPS was like, you didn't want to use it at all. That is now a little bit better. However, you have to think about, is this the most modern way to prevent that? Not really. I can show you the GPS, for example. Yeah, what is possible now, you can use it kind of iPhone or iPad alike. This is, by the way, Düsseldorf Airport here. And, well, the reaction times are, well, they could be faster, but also it works, actually, it's quite okay. However, you see how everything is displayed. That could be more modern, definitely. Go to the home screen. Also, for example, I usually want to have for the music a button which I can turn, not like plus and minus. Bluetooth connection works, and there's also this app mode now, but to be honest, I really don't understand it that well, but you can have several apps also where web is possible, but I don't have an internet connection right now. So, but what is also quite strange, we kind of got this two screen here, so we got another one above here. Well, it is good for the overview because you can have some more information in there, like the clock or the average consumption for this 1.6 liter diesel with 160 horsepower. 6.5 liters, I think that's quite good actually. We know the Honda engines, be it petrol or diesel, they consume not so much fuel. I'm really always very satisfied with that one. The same is here. But you could argue that you could just put like one screen, because that would have cleaned up the interior even more, and then maybe just switch the view at this screen here. Air conditioning unit, you can put it on and off with pushing here. That's quite easy solution. And they have worked on the quality here, so the knob feels better now, also hears better. Also same for here, they have really improved the interior quality. The whole interior is still kind of, let's say, simple, not premium, but I think okay, you know, we have got a quite good overview. They have improved the quality and also very easy to control. You look at it and you immediately know how to do what. And here we got optionally the automatic gearbox, 9-speed, now in combination with this new diesel and also just in combination with the all-wheel drive. Sport mode could be done if you push it down, and that is a little bit strange, because why don't you just put it in one lane? I'll also tell that one later on when we drive again. I have to go this way and then go down. That's also to do the D mode, and that's also, like, say here, a little bit loose. Go in reverse here, and you know that doesn't really contribute to a quality feeling, because you know it feels a little bit loose, as I said. Just do it like one line, back to D, front up to reverse, and that would have been perfect then, I think. About the reverse gear and also the rear view camera, I can also show you when I go up here now, and then up in the screen we can see the rear view camera. And yeah, it's better that we have the 7-inch screen now, that's 7-inch, but you know, see, the resolution could actually be a little bit better, so it's not the most clear resolution to see that. A very nice detail they thought of is this soft pad here, because when you put your leg next to it, you always, especially when you're a tall driver with long legs, it hurts here on the right side, and that's really very soft. Great solution. And the same at the co-driver side. This is actually missing with some race cars what this SUV has. Now to the storage spaces. This car really has a lot of space, and you see even big bottles of water could be put at the inside of the doors. Actually 2 bottles, you see there's a special device for that. Then let's move on to the glove box. It's not really high class, but we also don't have a big budget here for that car. You see, not really good in the detailed processing. Also, I don't know why this kind of is split here from the lever. I'm not sure why they have done that. Let's move on to the middle part, and there again you have a lot of space. And you can also adjust that here. For example, just remove it to have a really huge space in here. Again, not a high-class quality, but everything is kind of handy. And you can really adjust it very well. By the way, the seat heating option, of course, is here in 2 levers. One 12-volt power supply here. Then let's move on to the middle armrest. A lot of space inside there as well. And again, 2 more USB slots and even HDMI. Hey, what would you use that for? Tell me in the comments. And another 12-volt power supply. Cool command station here. So what else? With the executive trim level, the top trim level, you also get the panoramic roof included. But of course, you could also go for the lifestyle trim level, which I recommend, because the lifestyle trim level is for me also the best price-performance ratio, and you got the seats with the microfiber on the inside. But this panoramic roof, if you have it, well, you cannot open it, that's a pity, but it lets a lot of light in the interior and goes all the way back to the rear passengers. And you can also, because you know when the sun is shining too hard, you can also close it electronically. Let's put on the ignition. Let's see, does it work? Not with ignition, maybe just with the engine on. Ah, sorry, I opened it. Now it's closed. That's kind of interesting concept, that it's not from one way to another, but comes from 2 ways and then closed. And you see it's quite of thick, so that also should protect us very well against the sun. And now we want to have some light again, because that's also very good for filming. So conclusion from the cockpit here, actually they cleaned it up a little bit with the facelift, new infotainment system, better than the previous one, but not really good, let's say not in a it's okay, maybe good, but not very good. So I would have expected a little bit more with this facelift here. Some nice elements like this brushed aluminum style, going from right to the left. I really like that. And also the new knobs for the air conditioning unit. That's also very well done. And if you pick the Alcantara seats, they are also even more high class than the more expensive version we have here right now. So overall, I'm quite satisfied. However, if you compare it with competitors, I think, for example, the Mazda CX-5 already offers you a better quality interior for the same price. Let's get in the rear compartment, because where the CR-V has a very good advantage is that it offers a lot of space on the inside. For example, the seat is quite far in the back already now, still have enough knee space, even for 190-meter persons. And we have a panoramic roof here. Well, it is not a panoramic roof we can open, therefore it's not losing too much headspace, but here this kind of headspace is left. So actually also with tall people you got it quite comfortable, a lot of space in the rear. Maybe same counts by the way for the front seats. The seating area could be a little bit longer for taller people actually. But generally you also sit upright here in the rear, and that's also always a very big advantage in comparison to sedans or saloons, however you want to call them, UK or USA. You really sit upright here, that's more comfortable than in some more other premium luxury saloon, then, because you just sit more comfortable like on the chair here, also in the rear. So excellent car for traveling, also with 4, maybe 5. Well, it could work with 5 adults, but you know, the middle seating area is a little bit harder actually, and so I think it looks very funny when I sit here in the middle now. I would say for 4 adults it's really a perfect car, and you see there can also be put a lot of luggage in here. And there's also a surprise coming up, because if you take a detailed look at the seat, especially here how the head restraint is actually, you see, doesn't it look a little bit strange? Why is that this case? I'll soon show you. And I really love that function. It's so cool because when you flip this, the back area, you think, oh, why doesn't it really properly fit? There's a secret to it. Just use this here and then pull it. Ta-da! Very great solution. Then you got it almost all flat here. The same is possible with the last third over there. And you got a direct access to the loading area. And we can also do that from the trunk. So the loading compartment, either press the button here, or you can also hold it at the key. Takes some time to open, but what is actually good, I'll show you first. This one here is, in comparison to the competitors, also in premium segment, it's quite sensitive. That means when I'm closing it here, there it is. Well done. I can just say chapeau. Finally someone who got it, that it has to be more sensitive, because if some child would be with a hat here or like here, that would actually really stop. Most of the other hatches we've tested so far is too dangerous, not sensitive enough. Here a manufacturer finally got it how it is done right. Thank you, Honda. And now let's access the loading area. The cover here, I think I prefer it when it's, you know, straight and kind of has a straight line where it's kept fixed on the left, on the right side. Here it's kind of flying around a little bit. That's a little bit loose. Of course, you can also remove that one here. So you see, so much space here. Hardly anything is wasted. I mean, we're still in a compact SUV, and you know, you could carry anything with that one. And then again, this very great flipping process can also be released here with these handles. It's almost like magic, and same on the right side. And look at that. And then you got it kind of all flat. So they really thought about a very clever solution. And I mean, look at the space we got here. You can move that one here. Wow. And I'm not sure if it's best in segment, but at least among the best in segment, how we can use the space in here. I heard you wanted to see how you can flip it back. Sure, no problem. Just do it like this, and already done. Very simple. Alright, let's drive this thing, and we'll start on the motorway. Of course, we also want to test this new diesel. As I said, 1.6 liter diesel. And here in combination, as I've already told you, with a 9-speed automatic gearbox, and I really like that. That one is shifting very well. And what else is new, especially important for the motorway, the IACC, the Intelligent Automatic Cruise Control. And that one works way better than the one before, and together with the automatic gearbox also keeps the distance very well and very comfortable. And it is also said that this intelligent part of it, that when a car is changing lanes in front of you, it shall kind of foresee that and reduce the speed in advance. I really didn't have a situation so far where that happens. Well, I hope it doesn't happen at all, because it might be a little bit dangerous. But then again, I hope it does happen for the review, but I cannot promise it, so this you cannot plan. But I think it's actually a good idea to implement such a feature in this adaptive cruise control. So far, it worked pretty flawlessly. The only thing, you know, when I, for example, have it set to 60 kilometers an hour, and then I want to, and then I want to like accelerate to 80, I'm pressing the throttle, and then I want to set it to 80 again. I usually press set, but that doesn't work. So in most of the other automatic cruise control, it does work then. So let's accelerate. Now you see there's not a high power output of this diesel, but again, it is suitable actually for motorway riding. So I don't have actually a problem with it. Maybe when we stand still, I can show you the acceleration even better then. And yeah, well, about the automatic cruise control, you have to hold then the plus button like quite long, that you get plus 10, another plus 10 kilometers. So that's how it works, and you enlarge the speed. So actually I would have wished that when you just press set, the new speed is just set automatically as it used to be. So this function is actually missing then in this case. But it's also quite fast if you just hold the plus button for like 2 seconds, and it sets 10 kilometers with each step. If you just click it, then it's like 1 kilometer up or down. So that's also very easily done then. Yeah, the stop-start function is right now here. So the diesel is at the moment absolutely silent. In general, about the sound, well, yeah, it is better actually the sound than the one before, but it's also not such a great isolated sound or very refined sound that we maybe know from other diesels we know. So still kind of a classic diesel sound, so you shouldn't expect too much from it. In general, I'm quite satisfied with the engine. Let's now press a little harder. So here now. Here you see from, whoa, yeah, our luggage said goodbye in the back. I can show you later, because there's no possibility to fix the luggage properly. So you get actually quite good acceleration for the city. Just like when you're on a motorway and then want to have a fast overtaking process, that might take some time. But you actually, yeah, you get used to that. And in general, I can really recommend this diesel for the usual driving. About the steering, well, it does need some kind of steering way. It's not too indirect though. So for an SUV, that's okay. Of course, in general, this SUV feeling is, everything is rather set on comfort. So you shouldn't expect too fast corner drives, and you have to think about we are in a Japanese car in comparison to the German SUVs, for example. The German SUVs are usually rather a little bit stiffer, also more suitable for fast motorway driving, as we have the possibility here in Germany. The Japanese SUVs are always a little bit softer from the suspension and rather set on comfort. And you cannot say that it's like one is good, one is bad. It's more like really what you really appreciate, what's more important to you. So for an SUV, I think an SUV doesn't need to be stiff. There the focus is really more important. So I would like, if I maybe should not turn the steering wheel that high, that would be actually better for me, I think. But I think it's still quite okay. Also from the quality impression, when I touch the things here and also steer the car, it's actually quite good. And you see everything is kind of slim here also at the inside of the door, so you have a quite of spacious feeling. Together that, you know, I'm 1.86 m, I have a very comfortable seating position here because it's very upright, you sit relatively high, so this is true SUV feeling here, definitely. You know, some SUVs, they pretend to be SUVs and you don't really sit higher, and I don't really like that. If SUV, I think it should be a true SUV and also with a very high seating position. So also a very good overview to the front. And as we got rather angular shapes, you also see where the car is ending pretty well. The overview to the sides, to the back is also very good. So again, this stresses the fact of this car, it is very uncomplicated. A kind of simple car, you know, you take a seat, just drive, and everything is kind of clear and you don't need to care about anything. And I think that's very important. So I can also definitely recommend to take this about 1,800 euros extra in price to go for the automatic gearbox, 9-speed. This is so smooth shifting and gives this car so much more quality. Maybe just one thing, there's also a sport mode available, and when you set in the gears, you have to go, you know, I would just expect that you go up and down with the automatic shifting lever, but that's not the case. If you go into sport mode, you go to the right side, press it down, then the RPMs go a little bit higher because we get one gear down and I have a direct throttle input. However, if I want to go back now, I have to go left and then to D down again, as I would also just set the D mode. I think it's a little bit complicated. Why didn't they just make it like in one row, and that would have also been working pretty well. But in general, the shifting lever, that looks very good and also better than the automatic one that was available before. Yeah, you see now when I go some right-left tests, it's also getting bumpier now, so we can better test the suspension. So yeah, it is actually not that handy, the car, and so rather lazy feeling as for that. So we focus on going straight and the comfort then. And about the bumpy roads, yeah, I think the suspension does it pretty well. As I said, because it's rather soft, it's also good in equalizing all of the bumps we have on the road here. And again, when you're traveling, especially when you're closer to nature here now, you can see very well through the panoramic front screen, and that's also a very good feeling for traveling. So overall, a very good travel car, definitely for 4 adults, because we all have a lot of space here. Yeah, but the seat form, as I said, is very good. Just for the long term, it would be good if you had picked the lifestyle variant with the Alcantara on the middle. That would be the best. And so that's it for the driving. Now to the conclusion, to the Honda CR-V Facelift. Definitely we can understand why it's the most sold SUV worldwide, also among the top positions in Europe. Not really in Germany, because the Volkswagen Tiguan is that extremely strong there, and in Europe, by the way, also Nissan Qashqai is very strong, the leading SUV in Europe overall. And well, with the facelift, some has been changed, not too much though, but you know, the facelift in the front, I think it's actually quite good refined. The infotainment, it's good that we have a new one now, also with a bigger screen. I would expect it a little bit more than there, of course. But the interior has been also cleaned up a little bit, better overview, also some better materials and how the knobs work. I'm really satisfied with that now. In general, the car is very uncomplicated, kind of simple, but that's, you know, not in the sense of being bad. You see, you get a very good overview everywhere and a lot of space on the inside everywhere, front, rear, and in the loading compartment. So this one is the main reason, I think, that it's very flexible with the car and offers a lot of space, for example, for your family. So you only got this 4.50 meters in length, 4.55 meters, but already a lot of space on the inside, one of the main arguments for this car. And of course the price, for 24,000 euros with the Android price, you still have a very good deal, but you shouldn't go for the top trim level, because then the car gets too expensive. However, the competition is fierce. We present you a lot of other cars in the segment: Nissan Qashqai, Renault Kadjar, for example, Mazda CX-5, Hyundai Tucson, Kia Sportage. You will all find reviews of that one if you search Autogefühl and then the respective name of the model. So you can actually compare it. We also have an SUV comparison in the compact segment, so it's also interesting to look at the other competitors. but in general the Honda is actually quite fine off. So overall, of course not the most spectacular car, but very solid, and actually in general a good pick where you never won't be not satisfied after buying this car, I guess. Thank you very much. I also want to have your feedback down there in the comments about this car and of course about all other aspects, and see you at the next Autogefühl episode.